Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cleveland Service LLC pregame show. We are live from the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University for tonight's regional semifinal matchup between the Old Fort Stockaders and the Lima Central Catholic Thunderbirds. I'm Nate Mullins on the call tonight with Tommy Hall. We've got the Wizard Greg Kinn on the ones and twos, Austin Rodriguez on the main cam, and Connor Roush, Mr. Details, down on the baseline, giving us that baseline perspective that you can only find right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Before we get you to the broadcast, we want to thank our sponsors because, folks, there's a lot of people to thank tonight, and we can't thank them enough for allowing us to be here to broadcast tonight's game here live and paywall free on Heart of Ohio Sports. We want to thank our pregame show sponsor, Cleveland Seed Service LLC. Halftime show brought to you by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, and our postgame show brought to you by Mercy Health Tiffin Hospital. Instant replays tonight presented by Heather Hunker, travel advisor with Magical Moments Vacations. Player of the game brought to you by Edward Jones, Elaine Daugherty's office. Scoreboard tonight brought to you by Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine. Our keys to the game presented by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Starting lineups brought to you by Synergy Ag. Timeouts tonight presented by First National Bank of Sycamore. Our opening tip brought to you by Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc. Stat sheet tonight brought to you by Krogan Colonial Bank. And our free throws presented by Buckeye IT Services. Let's thank all of our sponsors for allowing us to be here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We'd like to thank Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Cleveland Seed Service LLC, Heather Hunker, travel advisor with Magical Moments Vacations, Elaine Daugherty, Edward Jones, financial advisor, Dr. Zachary West with Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine, Mercy Health Tiffin Hospital, April Hall, Century 21 Bolte Real Estate, Synergy Ag, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Old Fort Basketball Alumni, Molliette's Farm Market and Garden Center, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., First National Bank of Sycamore, Buckeye IT Services, in memory of Ron Rao, Krogan Colonial Bank, Old Fort Country Market, U.S. Bank, Mallory Sykes, Realtor with Keller Williams Citywide, Landers Strength Syndicate, The Front Nine, Sugar Creek Farms, the Scheidler family, and Ream Produce Farm with custom farm boxes, all proud sponsors with us right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We are just about set for the opening tip, brought to you by Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc. But Tommy, first let's talk a little bit about how we got here, because man, it's been a fun trip to get here to the Stroh Center.
Oh, it's been a long and arduous journey, especially for these Old Fort Stockaders who really battled back in the back nine of the season to get to this point, avenging some losses from early on in the season, really finding their way, really establishing their chemistry as a well-diesel-oiled machine coming into tournament play. And man, it got them a district championship, and now they're aiming for a regional championship, but they got to go through the Lima Central Catholic Thunderbirds first and hit in this Division IV regional semifinal, Nate.
And it's going to be a tough task here tonight for both teams, because I'll tell you, Old Fort coming in with that 21-5 record, but they've got a lot of momentum from the postseason run that they've been on. Lima Central, by the way, I mean, this is a team that up until this last game, every game that they've won has been decided by double digits. So these Thunderbirds coming in tonight with a chip on their shoulder after not being able to dispatch their last opponent by double digits. Maybe they got a little something to prove here tonight. We'll see. But here we got the opening tip brought to you by Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
Work with the opening tip back to Foster as he takes it across the timeline here.
Lima Central Catholic starting out with the possession. And a quick shot. And that one's a three-point lead for the Thunderbirds quickly. Another three, that one's no good. Stockaders grab the rebound.
Yeah, these Thunderbirds, they like to bury you quick with some long sustained runs. They come up big under the glass, able to sweep it. As
Connor Ernsberger draws the foul. And with the contact, that'll send him to the free throw line.
Well, that also puts the Stockaders on the board. It's in the first minute of action here from the Stroh Center in Bowling Green. As Ernsberger steps his way up to the Buckeye IT free throw, he will not get the +1.
So it's 3-2, Thunderbirds on top. And a steal for the Stockaders, Ernsberger. Perez, right wing three, no! Rebound grab by the Thunderbirds. Billy Bork on the rebound. We'll go through the starting lineups for both teams here. As a right wing three is off the mark from Jordan Pretty.
Nothing pretty about that. Now Cleveland passes it over to Ernsberger.
Ernsberger over to Adelsberger. Into the paint. Ryan Adelsberger finds Dubois under the basket. No good. It's poked away and grabbed by Jordan Pretty.
Yeah, this T-Bird squad isn't going to give you too many second chances, and they Ofort's got to clean it up a little bit.
And Jordan Pretty, his first basket of the ballgame. He had 14 the other night against Marion Local, leading the way for the Thunderbirds. Just a sophomore, this young Jordan Pretty. Kick out for Ernsberger for three. That one's no good, off the mark. As DeMar Foster grabs the rebound and pushes it into the paint. Foster, a little floater, no good. And Ernsberger grabs the rebound for the Stockaders. 5-2, Lima Central on top of the Old Fort Stockaders.
Back and forth to start for the first stanza of action.
And a kick out, Carter Cleveland for three, and that's actually just inside. And actually, Tommy, I'm going to be fooled a couple times because that's college regulation three. High school regulation is the blue line you'll see on the court there. So Thunderbirds take a 7-2 lead.
Bork just floats that one up to the basket.
Perez, left wing three for Adelsberger. That off the mark. Perez grabs the rebound, puts it up, and puts it in. Isaiah Perez with the finger roll.
Yeah, if you're going to live and die by the three, you got to have somebody down there to give you the second chance. And just a miscommunication on the handle, goes out of bounds by Parker.
DeMar Foster checking out of the game. Carson, actually, that's Matthew Quatman checking in for the Thunderbirds. So DeMar Foster was part of the starting five for the Thunderbirds and included Jordan Pretty, number 0, number 1, Willie Foster Jr., and number, let's see, we got under the basket, there's number 4, Quatman on defense, but the basket is good by the Stockaders.
Burke rounds out that starting five for the T-Birds.
Billy Bork has that one. Burke. Billy Burke.
My son is also named Bork.
That one poked away. It goes out of bounds off the Thunderbirds.
And then we'll see those impact players for these Stockaders. The guys that really got us here.
Connor Ernsberger, number 1. Number 3, Isaiah Perez. Number 22, Blake Bender. Number 23, Carter Cleveland. And number 12, Carter Dubois. Actually, Ryan Adelsberger got the start over Bender tonight. That one was blocked at the basket. Burke finds Foster. Now back to Burke. Billy Burke off the glass, puts it up and in.
There you see the block. Let's set up Burke.
Floater, no good.
Layup.
But Ernsberger nearly got the rebound. Now Pretty looking to push. Into the paint, no. Gets his own rebound, but it was off the baseline. Are they going to say out of bounds off the Thunderbirds?
I could have swore that touched Perez. Ernsberger gonna inbound it.
Stockaders with the possession, trailing by 5. 3:38 left to play here in the first quarter. Isaiah Perez into the forecourt. Carter Cleveland gives it to Dubois. Now back Ernsberger for 3 straight away, no good. And Billy Burke grabs the rebound.
Burke doing a tremendous job.
Pretty pulls up for 3 and knocks that one down. Jordan Pretty.
Looking pretty from the three-point line.
Perez drives the baseline, cut off by the defense. Dubois now with it, under the basket. It's stripped. Well, we got a foul. We'll see who the foul is on. I believe it's number 2, Carson Parker. No, 0. Jordan Pretty called for the foul. That's his first. And that is the second team foul against the Thunderbird here at the 3:01 mark in the first quarter. Coach Eric Hoover, first time here in the regional semifinals after clinching his first district championship this past Friday night. And Carter Dubois knocks down the first of 2 free throws from the Buckeye IT Services free throw line.
Bottom of the net.
He gave the points to the wrong team there. And Dubois knocks both of them down. Hopefully they give the right points to the right team. It's 8-14. Nice lob under the basket for Willie Foster. Foster, the sophomore, throws it down with 2 hands. Dubois had it poked away. Foster, DeMar Foster, under the basket for Willie Foster. That's no good.
Can't put it on the line by Cleveland, though, I think.
And yes, indeed, it will be an out of bounds off of the Stockaders. Jordan Pretty to inbound for the Thunderbirds. Now Pretty hoists it from 3, off the front of the rim, no. And the rebound grabbed under the basket by Parker. Out to Foster. That's DeMar Foster, pulls it back to the logo, resets the offense. 2:15 to play here in the first quarter. Thunderbirds doubling up the Stockaders, 16-8. Thunderbirds hitting from 63% from the floor so far here in the first quarter, leading the rebounding department 7-4.
That's a big.
And that cross-court pass nearly stolen away by Adelsberger. Now the Thunderbirds will inbound. Right by the scorer's table. DeMar Foster with it at the logo. Isaiah Perez on defense now. Willie Foster gets it down low. Carson Parker, cross court. DeMar Foster for 3. Off the mark. Carter Cleveland grabs the rebound. Stockaders over to Adelsberger for 3. Off the mark, no. Foster grabs the rebound, poked away. Ernsberger, no good. It's swatted away under the basket. And the Stockaders, it's just the ball's not going their way here in the first quarter.
Move inside, up to the basket.
Timeout on the floor. 1:16 to play here in the first. Thunderbirds up by 10. 18-8 is your score. We'll keep it right here for this First National Bank of Sycamore timeout. We'll use this time to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Cleveland Seed Service LLC, Heather Hunker, Travel Advisor with Magical Moments Vacations, Elaine Daugherty, Edward Jones, Financial Advisor, Dr. Zachary West with Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine, Mercy Health Tiffin Hospital, April Hall, Century 21 Bolte Real Estate, Synergy Ag, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Old Fort Basketball Alumni, Molliette's Farm Market and Garden Center, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., First National Bank of Sycamore, Buckeye IT Services, in memory of Ron Rao, Krogan Colonial Bank, Old Fort Country Market, U.S. Bank, Mallory Sykes Realtor with Keller Williams Citywide, Landers Strength Syndicate, The Front Nine, Sugar Creek Farms, Scheidler Family, and Reams Produce Farm with custom farm boxes. All proud sponsors with us right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Ten-point lead for the Thunderbirds. Stockaders have it coming out of the timeout.
Stockaders have now allowed a 10-point deficit. As that one's just stolen away.
Carson Parker with the steal. Coast to coast. Parker. Put it up and in. Inside of a minute to play. Thunderbirds lead by 12. Isaiah Perez. Under the basket for Ernsberger. Puts it up. No, it's swatted out to Carson Parker. Parker. Now DeMar Foster on the right wing. Back to Parker. And they swing it around. Trying to find an open shot here. They reset the offense, pull it back to the logo.
It's a dominating first stanza of action here at the Stro in this Division IV regional semifinal.
Just a beautiful facility here. We give a shout out to Jamie Beringer, who helped us out getting our accommodations here, approved our press passes. As Carson Parker's three is off the mark, and that's the end of the first quarter. Your score, Lima Central 20, Old Fort 8. We'll be back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Don't go anywhere. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports. Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Ink is here for all of your printing and design needs. From reunions to small events, to business apparel and even vehicle lettering, they've got you covered. They make the gear that you make your memories in. Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Ink.
We connect fans to the action like no one else can. As a business in today's market, you got to stay ahead of the game. And what better way than to get on board with the fastest growing brand in media today? I mean, you can take it from me, or you can just listen to them.
When recruiters want to see our game film, we tell them they can watch it on Heart of Ohio Sports.
You're watching high school basketball right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center here on the campus of Bowling Green State University. We're here for the regional semifinal. Old Fort versus Lima Central Catholic. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call with you. We got the Wizard Greg Kinn on the ones and twos keeping us live. Austin Rodriguez on the main cam. And Connor Roush, Mr. Details, on the baseline cam tonight. Thanks for tuning in here with us on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thunderbirds have a 12-point lead as we start this second quarter. Adelsberger from the left wing for three, knocks it down! That's the first three-pointer of the game for the Stockaders when it comes here in the second quarter.
You see Adelsberger on the wing there, knocks it down for three, gets us back into a one deficit.
And there's an answer on the other end. As Carson Parker knocks down the three.
I don't know if he's got a brother, but Parker brothers got some game.
Adelsberger, spin move. Nearly had it stripped. And they're going to say held ball. Possession arrow will point towards the Thunderbirds' way. And with a 12-point lead, they get the possession. 7:15 left to play here in the first half. Billy Burke inbound to Carson Parker. Blake Bender into the game for the Stockaders.
Burke at the top of the key. You really haven't seen him put in motion down low quite yet. He really used as a defensive force, plays tall among the trees. But wait till they get him going, as they've just had great production out of Foster and Parker here throughout, and Pretty as well.
And you talk about his job in the district final against Marion Local, as he was tasked with guarding their twin towers. They got a pair of kids who are 6'8" and 6'9" down low for the Maria Stein Marion Local Flyers. And Billy Burke, really, he did a great job. He held his own, especially after the first quarter.
Oh, feed
nice
down
feed, and we got a wedgie. Ernsberger's shot is no good. Stockaders looking to inbound. Isaiah Perez under his own basket here. Adelsberger pulls up from just inside the three-point arc, no good. DeMar Foster grabs the rebound, pushes it the other way. Carson Parker, oh, what a nice step back for three, and that's off the mark. Boy, that would have been just absolute money if he'd have got that to go. Perez driving. Off the glass, no. Put back from Ernsberger, goes.
And these Stockaders are going to have to lean heavy on each other tonight as it's stolen away.
Perez for three. Oh, in and out. Oh, it was down, but it came out.
Oh.
10-point game. Foster, Parker, now right wing three. That one's off the mark.
And into the hands.
Burke under the basket. Oh, he got that one to go. What a shot by Billy Burke. Just muscled that one up and in.
I don't know if it's possible to get a run on these T-Birds.
Ernsberger under the basket.
I'm gonna call travel?
Travel. That's gonna be the call against Ernsberger. It'll give the ball back to the Thunderbirds. Billy Burke checking out of the game. Angelo Collins checking in for the Thunderbirds. Willie Foster Jr., sophomore guard. They work it around the perimeter, and that goes out of bounds off the Stockaders. Adelsberger must have got a hand on it there. Stays with the Thunderbirds inside of 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Matthew Quatman with it. And now Willie Foster Jr. works it cross court. That's Jordan Pretty, pulls up for three. That one's off the mark. Parker grabs the rebound, had it poked away. It goes out of bounds off of Isaiah Perez. He stays with the Thunderbirds. 4:35 left here in the first half. We're going to get a timeout on the floor. Timeout called by Thunderbirds. Just a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Let me tell you about our friends at Cleveland Seed Service, our pregame show sponsor. They provide your Pioneer brand seed for the past 51 years. We appreciate you working with our family business and look forward to helping yours for generations to come. At Cleveland Seed Service LLC, we want to personally thank all local farmers for the hard work they put in every single day. Cleveland Seed Service LLC, one of our proud sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
They might think that these T-Birds had a little bit of that Cleveland Seed Service, as their production here tonight has just been outstanding throughout the first half of action. Keeping that 10-point lead, keeping the Stockaders at bay. So like Cleveland Seed Service, tremendous yield by the Thunderbirds.
Billy Burke has it at the elbow, gives it to Jordan Pretty. Now under the basket, Burke's shot is no good, but he draws the contact. I believe that's going to go on Blake Bender.
There's a couple of times where he almost brings it back down, almost fakes his way back to the basket. That way he draws the contact early.
Ooh, that one rattles its way in. 26-13. Thunderbirds on top. Billy Burke got them both. No arc on that shot, Tommy. There's no rainbow on that one. That one just pure and straight away.
Perez working on Foster.
Isaiah Perez driving. Nice kick under the basket. Oh, and Adelsberger was blocked. But he gets it back, and he gets his change. Ryan Adelsberger. 5 points here for the Stockaders. Pretty pulls up from three. That one's no good. Off the mark. Burke grabs the rebound. Back to Pretty. Under the basket. Put it up and in. Jordan Pretty. Adelsberger at the top of the three-point arc. Now Perez with it. DeMar Foster done a great job on him here in the first half. Really limiting his looks at the basket. As they probably know, after him going off for 27 points the other night in that clinching win in the district final against Hopewell Loudon, Blake Bender pulls up for a long three. That one's no good. And Willie Foster Jr. grabs the rebound.
I wonder if they relayed the message about the blue line.
I could be wrong. It could be, maybe that's the women's line. I'm not sure. I don't know. I guess I should have checked my notes. I didn't see that in the media guide. Adelsberger driving, gives to Dubois. Carter Dubois, nice feed for Ernsberger. What a nice cut to the basket by Connor Ernsberger. Carter Dubois with the assist. Foster into the paint. And an offensive foul.
Are they going to get Foster on that one?
I believe so. Willie Foster Jr. will be called for the foul. That'll be his second personal. And the first team foul on the Thunderbirds here in the second quarter. A little cleanup on aisle 3.
We can't thank you once again for tuning in to this Division IV Regional Semifinal. Present live on Heart of Ohio Sports.
If you're watching, folks, let us know where you're watching from. That one get poked out of bounds, and it's last off the Stockaders. Jordan Pretty with some great defense there on the inbound pass, forcing the turnover.
Just
Smothered.
his way to get him out of bounds.
You'd think he was across the street at the Waffle House, how bad he was smothered on that one. Quatman, cross court for Foster. Foster driving. Now back out to Pretty. 2:25 here in the first half. Quatman on the left wing. Cross court for Pretty. Now Carson Parker's mid-range shot no good, and the rebound grabbed by Bender.
But back into the hands of the T-Birds.
DeMar Foster there to grab the loose ball. Jordan Pretty with 5 points. Cross court, DeMar Foster. Quatman works it down low for Parker. Now back out to Pretty, wide open three. That one off the mark. Stockaders are getting lucky. Jordan Pretty's missed a few of those open shots. You can't count on that the whole game. This young man is very talented. Pretty to the basket, put it up, no.
Back into the hands of the Stockaders.
Perez into the forecourt. Dubois by himself, put it up and in. Carter Dubois brings the Stockaders back to within 10.
Nothing fancy. No hocus pocus, just all focus. As the kick out from Foster back to Pretty to Parker.
2-3 zone here by the Stockaders. Kick out, DeMar Foster for three! DeMar Foster.
Australian for Foster for three.
Cross court, Dubois for three, no.
Wanted the contact foul there, but
Pretty, corner three, no. Rebound tipped around, grabbed by Quatman.
turnabout fair
Grabbed
play.
under the basket, and the possession arrow will be favoring the Thunderbirds here. 35 seconds left. Lima Central leading by 13.
And the T-Birds are cruising here in that first half out to a comfortable lead. They've been able to control that 12-point, 13-point deficit for the majority here, Nate.
Willie Foster to DeMar Foster, and we're going to control this one probably for the last shot here. Thunderbirds holding on to it inside of 20 seconds left here in the second quarter. Willie Foster Jr. driving into the paint, stripped, but he's fouled. Carter Cleveland's going to get called for the foul. Reach-in foul. It'll be their second foul, but that will send Willie Foster Jr. to the line for 2 shots here with 1.8 seconds left in the first half. Make sure you stick around for the halftime show, brought to you by Xcaret Mexican Restaurant. We got a lot of sponsors to thank, folks. When you hear these names on this list, make sure you frequent these businesses and let them know you heard about them here on Heart of Ohio Sports. That's the only way this works, folks. If you tell these businesses, hey, we heard about you on Heart of Ohio. That's how we keep doing this. Oh, what a putback! Carson Parker! The last second shot at the buzzer. Take a look at this replay brought to you by Heather Hunker.
Second attempt.
Wow.
Off the front of the iron. Doesn't matter as Parker with the putback.
Carson Parker finishes with an exclamation point. He's got 11 points as we get ready to head to the locker room. Before we do that, let's take a moment and thank our sponsors for allowing us to be here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We want to thank Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Cleveland Seed Service LLC, Heather Hunker, Travel Advisor with Magical Moments Vacations, Elaine Daugherty, Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Dr. Zachary West with Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine, Mercy Health Tiffin Hospital, April Hall, Century 21 Bolte Real Estate, Synergy Ag, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Old Fort Basketball Alumni, Molliette's Farm Market and Garden Center, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., First National Bank of Sycamore, Buckeye IT Services, in memory of Ron Rao, Krogan Colonial Bank, Old Fort Country Market, U.S. Bank, Mallory Sykes, Realtor with Keller Williams Citywide, Landers Strength Syndicate, The Front Nine, Sugar Creek Farms, the Scheidler family, and Ream Produce Farm with custom farm boxes. We're going to step aside and take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Don't go anywhere. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports. Buckeye IT Services is a trusted partner for cybersecurity, fully managed and co-managed IT support. Municipalities, financial organizations, and mature businesses turn to them to eliminate IT stress and enable growth. Visit BuckeyeIT.com today to start your partnership.
Heart of Ohio Sports is owned by Mullins Entertainment and located inside Studio Squared in downtown Tiffin. The space features a state-of-the-art podcast studio, open for public use. Building a platform for creators is one of our top priorities.
At First National Bank of Sycamore, we are a truly local bank that is community-based and community-focused. We are invested in your success, and our team is here to help. First National Bank of Sycamore, banking that just makes sense.
You're watching high school basketball right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
Let Heather Hunker, Travel Advisor with Magical Moments Vacation, take the stress out of booking your next getaway. Specializing in family and group vacations, as well as adults-only trips, Heather can also help you with booking your dream destination wedding. Most trips are planned at no additional cost to you, and you'll have her support both pre-travel and in-destination with every step of the way. Book your next dream getaway now. Heather Hunker, Travel Advisor with Magical Moments Vacations. Keep it locked in. You're watching Hoops on Hoos.
You are the North Star, the guiding light for the ones you love. They watch. They learn. They do what you do. And when you take care of yourself, they can stay healthy and strong like you. You are the center of their universe, and the first step to their good health is yours. Mercy Health. Primary, specialty, and emergency care. Healthcare for the universe of you.
You're watching tournament basketball on Heart of Ohio Sports. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Heart of Ohio Sports gives fans the access they want when they want it. And the athletes get the coverage they deserve. Our broadcasts are free, and they always will be. We don't hide behind a paywall.
When my family can't come to the games, they always watch on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Legacy Federal Credit Union, your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
You're watching high school basketball right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center here on the campus of Bowling Green State University. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call with you here. We've got the Wizard Greg Kinn on the production table. We've got Austin Rodriguez on our main cam. Connor Roush on the baseline cam. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Tommy, let's talk about this one before we start the second half. The T-Birds with a 15-point lead. They're shooting 48% from the field. And I think they could be shooting a little bit better because they've missed some open shots here tonight. But the Stockaders really, I think the story for them is they're not making these open shots. They're getting some good looks at the basket. They're just not going in.
Yeah, both squads kind of playing around from three-point land, not exactly going their way, as the Thunderbirds had enjoyed a sizable lead. Their time with the lead was 15 minutes and 37 seconds of that first 16 minutes, Nate. So some of those unaccounted three-pointers were just those shots that the Thunderbirds took to try to bury teams, and that's what these T-Birds calling cards there are. So if you're 0-4 this second half, you have to chop away slowly but surely, get yourself back in this one.
At this time, we'd like to take a moment to remember legendary Old Fort coach Ron Rao. The Old Fort community is devastated by the loss of such a great man, yet honored to have known what it was like to sit under his learning tree. Once again, in honor of Coach Ron Rao. Isaiah Perez, shot no good. That one poked out. The Stockaders have a second chance at it. Dubois had it stripped away. And Willie Foster Jr. driving into the paint.
Whoa, whoa!
Up and under.
Euro step. Put it in. Hit him with the...
Woo! Perez to Ernsberger. No, but a foul. Ernsberger draws the contact. And that'll put him at the line. Of course, free throws brought to you by Buckeye IT Services. Connor Ernsberger, first shot is good.
Stockaders need to start feeling comfortable. Act like you've been here before.
And Ernsberger knocks both of them down. Perez with the steal. Finds Adelsberger up off the glass. No good. Foster with the rebound. Parker feeds Foster, and just a little bit too much on that one.
I think the roof would have came off this place.
Yeah. The winner of tonight's game will play Toledo Christian this Friday night here at the Stroh Center. 7 o'clock tip-off as that shot blocked by Isaiah Perez. Willie Foster on the block. Poke away. Ernsberger drives the baseline, puts it up, and gets it to go. Connor Ernsberger. Little underhanded layup.
This is where it's been a tough battle uphill for the Stockaders, getting past this 13-point deficit.
Old Fort shooting just 31% from the field and just 10% from beyond the arc. An area where they usually excel, shooting over 30% on the season. Pretty, no. Adelsberger grabs the rebound. Ernsberger. Perez. They swing it around. Carter. Perez with it.
Oh, man, I still subscribe that you play this one down low.
You got some trees down there with Billy Burke.
Whoa, 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 they're going to call it.
And a travel. It's going to be against the Stockaders. It'll give the ball back to the T-Birds.
Called him for the travel. Normally I call Heather Hunker for the travel.
I mean, that's the call to make if you've got travel arrangements that you are not looking forward to. I mean, you know, some people enjoy that, making travel arrangements. I'm not one of those people, Tommy.
No, I like to put it in the hands of the professionals give me an itinerary and tell me what to do and how much to spend.
You mean you don't like to find the best, cheapest hotel room that you can find? And
I mean, there's somebody that'll do that for you. Trying to poke it away here.
Jordan Pretty find under the basket. Billy Burke.
Now it's 10 points, working his way towards a double-double. He's got 6 rebounds.
Dubois over to Carter Cleveland. Cleveland under the basket, had it poked away. And Foster tried to save it, but it goes out of bounds.
And look what these T-Birds do to you, though, Nate. They force you to try to push it outside and shoot from the perimeter because they give up no open lanes inside.
Yeah. Isaiah Perez looking to inbound. Not a whole lot of options. Finds Dubois. Carter Dubois. Poked away. Carson Parker.
They're called a foul.
Yeah. Contact is going to put Carson Parker at the free throw line. All free throws brought to you by Buckeye IT Services. Let me tell you about our friends at Krogan Colonial Bank. You should stop in to their Tiffin location and go see Gwen Stallard. Krogan Colonial Bank, helping good people make good decisions. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. One of our new sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We want to thank Gwen Stallard for all of her help in supporting this broadcast here tonight. Carson Parker got them both. T-Birds open up their largest lead of the ball game at 17, 40-23. Ernsberger nearly had it stolen away, but a foul under the basket is going to be called on Carson Parker, I believe. Parker with 13 points and 4 rebounds. Also 4 steals for Parker as well.
How do these T-Birds play so pesky but play so clean? I mean, it's something to watch. It really is.
Yeah. Dubois. They work it around. Now Carter Dubois pulls up from 3, knocks it down.
Ooh. Dubois for Carter Dubois.
Parker. Entry pass stolen away. Dubois with the steal. Into the paint. Got it to go. Off the glass. Carter Dubois with the aggressive drive to the basket. Little 5-0 run here for the Stockaders.
Yeah, by Carter Dubois.
They're going to need a few more of those.
I don't know if that's possible, as these T-Birds have really...
Pretty. No good under the basket. Parker grabs it, puts it back up and in. Carson Parker will not be denied.
That would have been a good time for a timeout.
Perez leans into the shot, no good. Tried to draw the contact, but to no avail. Jordan Pretty up off the glass, put that one up and in. Pretty now with 7 points.
You got to be a pinball wizard down low. You got to start bumping, pal.
That pass off the mark from Adelsberger, intended for Carter Dubois.
Couple of ugly possessions by the Stockaders right there, Nate.
Absolutely.
They're starting to find their rhythm, starting to get themselves back into this, and now unraveling once again.
It just seems like any time it gets close to a single-digit deficit, these Thunderbirds just put their foot back on the gas.
But you got too many weapons and too many threats by these T-Birds that you can get into motion.
Timeout called on the floor. This is a full timeout by the Stockaders. We'll keep it right here. We'll use this time to thank our sponsors. We got a lot of them, folks, so make sure you tell them all that you heard about them here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Cleveland Seed Service, Heather Hunker, Travel Advisor with Magical Moments Vacations, Elaine Daugherty, Edward Jones, Financial Advisor, Dr. Zachary West with Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine, Mercy Health Tiffin Hospital, April Hull, Century 21 Bolte Real Estate, Synergy Ag, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Old Fort Basketball Alumni, Molliette's Farm Market and Garden Center, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., First National Bank of Sycamore, Buckeye IT Services, in memory of Ron Rao, Krogan Colonial Bank, Old Fort Country Market, U.S. Bank, Mallory Sykes, Realtor with Keller Williams Citywide, Landers Strength Syndicate, The Front Nine, Sugar Creek Farms, Scheidler Family, and Ream Produce Farm with custom farm boxes. We want to say hello to everyone watching at The Front Nine as we picked them up as a sponsor right before we left town. We want to give a big shout out to Tracy and Brian Eakin at The Front Nine for helping us out with this broadcast and also for putting us on the TV, on the boob tube out there, broadcasting live for all of our fans at The Front Nine.
Oh, I couldn't imagine a better spot to be catching the action here in this Division IV regional semifinal.
Perez had it poked away, but right to Dubois with the feed to Adelsberger. That's a nice little offensive set there for the Stockaders.
You just need to build yourself one little run just before the end of the third here. It gives you a completely different mindset and completely different game plan going into the final quarter here, Nate. That's why this timeout's so important.
30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here with 2:25 left to play here in the third quarter. Let me tell you about our friends at Landers Strength Syndicate, specifically Josh Landers. Josh offers weightlifting and training services to all area athletes. Josh Landers specializes in injury prevention and weight training. If you or your student athlete find themselves dealing with soft tissue injuries, Josh will work with you to develop a plan that will put you on the best path to core strength and joint stability. Find Landers Strength Syndicate on Instagram to see for yourself why the strongest athletes train with Josh Landers at Landers Strength Syndicate.
Soft tissue. Greggy, is this hurt? Better call Josh Landers.
Thunderbirds with possession. Billy Burke, Jordan Pretty with it. And now Carson Parker on the left wing. Out to DeMar Foster. They're going to reset the offense here. 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Foster out to Jordan Pretty. Stockaders going to have to push the issue a little bit here, as I don't think the T-Birds are going to want to try to shoot with it unless they're being forced to here. I think they're just trying to waste this possession here and save it for the last shot. And this is, to everyone that says play defense, like this is them playing defense. What are you supposed to do? Like everyone who has the argument against the shot clock and that their argument is, well, just play defense. They are playing defense. What else can you do? I guess the main argument for most people with the shot clock is it costs a lot of money, right? It's $10,000 per shot clock. Someone else at the table to operate the shot clock. I can understand some of those arguments, but with the money that's being brought in from some of these tournament games, and I think that shouldn't be as much of an issue as they make it out to be. You know what I'm saying, Tommy? I don't think it's that hard to find somebody to run a shot clock, and I don't think it's that hard to find 10 grand for a school to put in a shot clock. I think the argument really lies in you got to play defense. You got to force the issue, and that's what Old Fort tried to do there, forcing them into another timeout. Yeah. But Tommy, what's your suggestion in that situation? What do you do?
Call a timeout. You just seem there as again, when you're able to pass it around, you force defenses to come up and come around you. And then if you're smothered, if you have those timeouts available to you, go ahead and call that timeout, reset, and then you get to waste another possession.
Jordan Pretty.
But there's a difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. And these T-Birds definitely comfortable in their sets and with their handle on the ball.
Parker.
And it's stolen away, but it's going to be, that's what that pesky defense gets you, though. You might get a poke away, but guess what?
Absolutely.
You're going to be the last one to touch it.
Yeah. And that one's going to be poked away, out of bounds, off the Thunderbirds. Tonight's program brought to you in part by Tiffin Edward Jones Financial Advisors, Elaine Daugherty, Chris Lee, Hannah Luring, and Rachel Tate. To learn more about how they can help you reach your financial goals, visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Billy Burke takes the feed under the basket, and that one's going to be out of bounds, and it's got off.
Yeah, that's got to be off.
Off the Thunderbirds. So a minute to play here in the third quarter. But the Thunderbirds were successful, Tommy. They trimmed off a minute and a half off that third quarter time on that possession.
And it's been like trying to climb a mountain for these old Fort Stockaders to get this within a 10-point ball game.
And Parker, his drive to the basket stopped by the Stockader defense, but contact on the play will put him at the free throw line. So they pushed the issue on that one, Tommy. He came driving in. And Carson Parker earns himself a trip to the free throw line. Carson Parker, first one off the mark. 15 points tonight for the senior. 6'3" senior, 215 pounds. Carson Parker off the mark with the second one. Still a 14-point game.
Stockaders pushed it down the floor in the last possession. Had me scratching my head just a little bit. End up coming away with the possession, and now look at that defense.
Ernsberger twisting into the paint. Shot blocked by Billy Burke. Thunderbirds with possession, 15 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Willie Foster Jr. out to DeMar Foster. 3 seconds. Foster Jr. for three. No. That's going to do it for the third quarter. Lima Central Catholic 44, Old Fort 30. We're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Don't go anywhere. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
At Heart of Ohio Sports, it's obvious. The first thing that comes to mind is sports. But we do a lot more than just cover live sporting events.
Go, go, go!
When we want to watch our highlights from last night's game, there's only one place we go: Heart of Ohio Sports.
You're locked into the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Heart of Ohio Sports.
And we're back here at the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call with you here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We get set to start the fourth quarter of action as the Thunderbirds lead the Stockaders 44-30. Carson Parker inbounds to DeMar Foster. And the Stockaders look to apply pressure defensively as they've seen this before. Yes, Isaiah Perez with the steal into the paint. Put it up and in. And this is what's going to have to happen. You got to push it. You got to push the issue, especially on the defensive end of the floor. Billy Burke, put it up and in off the glass. Burke with 12 points. Isaiah Perez to Carter Dubois, nearly lost it, but gets it back. Dubois, poke out of bounds by the Thunderbirds' Carson Parker.
And these Thunderbirds, they just lay in wait.
Isaiah Perez to Adelsberger. Dubois under the basket, had it poked out of bounds off the Thunderbirds. I don't think the T-Bird faithful thought so, but Dubois inbound. Perez, mid-range jumper, got it to go. That one was pretty wet there, Tommy.
Yeah.
Willie Foster Jr. into the forecourt. Off the glass, no. Pretty, had it blocked.
Oh, and look at that.
Bender with the save and a timeout called by Eric Hoover. That's a wise timeout by the Old Fort head coach here, as I believe that's more of an injury timeout than anything. As Isaiah Perez is going to take a seat. Carter Cleveland into the game for Stockaders. 6:52 left to play here in this regional semifinal. Connor Ernsberger drives it to the basket and brings it to within 10.
That changes the complexion of things.
Well, he only had 1 foot on the ground when he inbounded there.
And
Jordan Pretty. Finishing through the contact. Just an impressive
Yeah, the student
athlete.
section there. He's so pretty.
As a sophomore, how big would your head be if you're hearing stuff like that from the student section? I mean, come on.
Well, that top knot is pretty big.
Three-point lead, or 13-point lead for the Thunderbirds.
Story of this ball game.
The Thunderbirds have pretty much held a double-digit advantage since the first quarter and have not looked back. Matthew Quatman into the game for Lima Central. Adelsberger with the feed under the basket, had it stripped away. Ernsberger puts it up, puts it in off the glass. Connor Ernsberger. He's got 16 points for the Stockaders.
Pretty.
No.
Comes up with
Unable to
a
get it.
rebound. Calls off the shot.
Shot no good, but a foul on the floor will send him. No, it's
he
just
called
the
off the shot.
second foul. So that'll be just the second team foul. Thunderbirds will inbound with an 11-point lead, 49-38. Jordan Pretty gets it in. Carson Parker down low. Billy Burke puts it up. No. I think that's the first shot he's missed tonight, man. He has just been money from inside the paint. Adelsberger gives it off to Perez. Perez. Ernsberger driving into the paint, puts it up. No, grabs his own rebound right over to Dubois, who bats it right to Billy Burke.
He's out of bounds.
And they're going to say it's out of bounds off the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, he had a foot out of bounds. Inbounded it back. What do you think, Greg?
Perez takes the inbound. Back to Adelsberger. Adelsberger from the elbow, pulls up. No.
Oh.
Well, I thought that was good. That's his
down
range.
Low. T-Birds come away with the rebound.
Pretty stripped away under the basket, right to Dubois. Down to Perez. Perez had it stripped away, but a travel before the steal gives the ball back to the Thunderbirds.
A travel. Ernsberger try to clean that up, but the travel before the foul keeps us 111
Jordan
points.
Pretty! Jordan Pretty with 13 points. Thunderbirds with 3 players in double digits here tonight. Perez pulls up for mid-range, no good. And Jordan Pretty grabs the rebound. Into the forecourt, Foster off the glass. Put it up and in. Willie Foster Jr. Timeout called by Eric Hoover and the Stockaders. We'll keep it right here. 4:39 left to play in the ball game. And this is crunch time for the Stockaders here. Timeout's brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore. Folks, let me tell you about our friends at Ream Produce Farm. They grow over 50 different fruit and vegetable crops year-round. They also love to support other local, like-minded small farms. So Ream Custom Farm Boxes have a wide variety of other healthy food options, such as meats, eggs, dairy, and more. Purchase a custom farm box online at funacres.net. Also, don't forget about our friends Dr. Zachary West and the Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine. It's time to restore the patient-physician relationship. Seneca County native Dr. Zachary West has returned to Tiffin and opened the Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine. Experience the direct primary care difference combined with the osteopathic approach to care for your mind, body, and spirit. Physician-owned, patient-focused, the Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine. .439 left to play in the ball game. Stockaders with the ball coming out of the timeout. Connor Ernsberger feeds Isaiah Perez. Touch pass out on the right wing for Bender! Blake Bender knocks down the 3.
T-Birds just can't quite put the Stockaders away. Giving the Stockaders every opportunity to get back in this one.
Quatman under the basket, out to Pretty for 3.
Answer back.
Jordan Pretty, 16 points, leading all scorers for the Thunderbirds.
He came into the night
Steal.
hoping that these guys weren't going to play their best brand of basketball. I hate to tell you, but these T-Birds, they came in here tonight ready to play.
Yeah, they were ready to fly. As Willie Foster Jr. tried to fly there, but was denied by the rim. Fouled on his way to the basket by Connor Ernsberger. Willie Foster Jr. First free throw off the mark, off the back of the rim. Foster with 9 points, trying to become the 4th Thunderbird in double digits here.
Jeez. Talk about production by numbers.
And he's unable to get there. Stuck at 9 points. Carter Dubois. Kick out, Ernsberger for 3. No. Adelsberger saves it right to Willie Foster Jr. Willie Foster into the paint, off the glass and in. 3:22 to play.
T-Birds with a chance to open this one up, Nate.
I think they already have, Tommy. 18-point advantage for the T-Birds. That one goes off of Willie Foster and out of bounds.
Man, what a showing by Lima Central Catholic here. Just really, for a good 30 minutes, Nate, just in the driver's seat.
Adelsberger for 3, off the mark. Jordan Pretty grabs the rebound, flings it into the forecourt. Carson Parker. That pass poked away, but Pretty there to grab it. Double team, and a foul. Reach-in foul is going to go against Stockaders. Adelsberger will be called for the foul. That's the second personal on Adelsberger and the 4th foul on the Stockaders.
Look at Pretty.
And Jordan Pretty putting a cap on this one, as he's got 18 points here tonight. And the Thunderbirds with it now. Cross court, Willie Foster Jr. with it, 2:11 to play. And it looks like the Thunderbirds will punch their ticket to the regional final this Friday night.
Oh, over the back.
And Jordan Pretty says, I want 20 points. I like 20. That's a nice even number. That's where Jordan Pretty finds himself at, 20 points on the evening. Started out kind of slow, but really poured it on here in the second half. Willie Foster Jr. was denied his chance at a dunk opportunity by Ryan Adelsberger as he's fouled on his way to the basket. I do want to take a moment and spotlight some of these seniors for this Old Fort squad as we draw to the end of this game here before we lose a lot of viewers, because we do tend to lose some viewers towards the end of the broadcast. So I do want to make sure we spotlight these seniors because they have had one heck of a career here at Old Fort. Number 23, Carter Cleveland. Number 22, Blake Bender. Number 12, Carter Dubois. Number 3, Isaiah Perez. And number 1, Connor Ernsberger. Storied careers here at Old Fort as they have clinched their first district title since 2002 to punch their ticket here at the Stroh Center here tonight. So just an outstanding campaign for these Stockaders.
Yeah, what a way to, again, what a way to end it. If you have to go out under the bright lights where it shines biggest. And these Stockaders have nothing to be ashamed of. These T-Birds, everything went their way tonight. It really did. They played one tremendous game of basketball.
Absolutely. I think the biggest disparity I see right now is field goal percentage, and I think that's kind of the theme for the first half and how they found themselves in such a deficit. Is just they were never able to really hit some of these open shots that they had at the beginning of this one. Substitutions into the game for Old Fort here, as number 40, Brock Miller, gives it off. And number 10 shot is no good. I don't have a number 10 on my roster, so unfortunately I can't give that young man his just due. But Grant Havens into the game, number 11. Number 0, Griffin Miller. Number 2, Tyson Frisch.
What a display by these T-Birds. They're going to be exciting to watch down the stretch for sure.
And he steps on the baseline as number 11, Aaron Hutchins, senior shooting guard. Yeah, he really wanted that three. He's like, you kidding me? You got me for it? I didn't think anybody saw that, darn it. Really? Ah, come on. And Grant Havens knocks down the three. .23 seconds left to play here in the ball game. And Lima Central Catholic will play Toledo Christian for the right to move on to the state Final Four this Friday here at Bowling Green State University. That figures to be one heck of a matchup, Tommy.
Number 10 is actually Brock Davis.
Brock Davis,
give
thank
that young
you.
man his flowers as the T-Birds. They're going to dispatch the Old Fort Stockaders and get one step closer to a regional championship as the T-Birds win this one 65-44. Nate, man, what a night of basketball it's been.
What a night of basketball indeed from the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. We're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. We'll come back with our post-game show. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. We've got some people to thank And we got to wrap things up here before we get going on the road. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
At First National Bank of Sycamore, we are a truly local bank that is community-based and community-focused. We are invested in your success, and our team is here to help. First National Bank of Sycamore, banking that just makes sense.
Let Heather Hunker, travel advisor with Magical Moments Vacation, take the stress out of booking your next getaway. Specializing in family and group vacations, as well as adults-only trips, Heather can also help you with booking your dream destination wedding. Most trips are planned at no additional cost to you, and you'll have her support both pre-travel and in-destination with every step of the way. Book your next dream getaway now. Heather Hunker, travel advisor with Magical Moments Vacations.
You are the North Star, the guiding light for the ones you love. They watch. They learn. They do what you do. And when you take care of yourself, they can stay healthy and strong like you. You are the center of their universe, and the first step to their good health is yours. Mercy Health. Primary, specialty, and emergency care. Healthcare for the universe of you.
At Heart of Ohio Sports, it's obvious. The first thing that comes to mind is sports. But we do a lot more than just cover live sporting events.
Go, go, go! When we want to watch our highlights from last night's game, there's only one place we go. Heart of Ohio Sports.
Buckeye IT Services is a trusted partner for cybersecurity, fully managed and co-managed IT support. Municipalities, financial organizations, and mature businesses turn to them to eliminate IT stress and enable growth. Visit buckeyeit.com today to start your partnership.
Heart of Ohio Sports is owned by Mullins Entertainment and located inside Studio Squared in downtown Tiffin. The space features a state-of-the-art podcast studio, open for public use. Building a platform for creators is one of our top priorities.
Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Ink is here for all of your printing and design needs. From reunions to small events, to business apparel and even vehicle lettering, they've got you covered. They make the gear that you make your memories in. Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Ink.
We connect fans to the action like no one else can. As a business in today's market, you got to stay ahead of the game. And what better way than to get on board with the fastest growing brand in media today? I mean, you can take it from me, or you can just listen to them.
When recruiters want to see our game film, we tell them they can watch it on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Heart of Ohio Sports gives fans the access they want when they want it. And the athletes get the coverage they deserve. Our broadcasts are free, and they always will be. We don't hide behind a paywall.
When my family can't come to the games, they always watch on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
You're watching high school basketball right here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Welcome back to the Stroh Center here on the campus of Bowling Green State University. Final score, Lima Central Catholic 65, Old Fort 44. Stockgator season comes to a close here in Bowling Green. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call with you here for the postgame show, brought to you by Mercy Health Tiffin Hospital.
Tommy, this one just didn't go the way the Stockaders intended it to go. I think a lot of that had to do with that pesky Lima defense. And I'm telling you, those Thunderbirds, they were smothering from the start to the finish, and it just never really gave any good opportunities for these Stockaders to get some good looks at the basket.
Yeah, the problem was that the T-Birds, for the Thunderbirds, everything went exactly the way that they wanted it to go. And that's unfortunate for the Stockaders, but these T-Birds, they gave the Stockaders plenty of time, especially late, to get this one back close, get this one into a situation to where, they could get on a nice run. But those wild shots from three-point land, just great presence underneath the basket and being able to sweep the glass by the T-Birds, that really proved to be the difference down the stretch. The Thunderbirds really took care of business, 65-44 here tonight.
Once again, big-time performance by the Thunderbirds as they move on to face the Toledo Christian, I believe it's Eagles. Yeah, all right, got that right. Once again, 65-44 is your final score here today. Let's take a moment. I want to thank all of our sponsors before we get to the players of the game here tonight. But I want to thank Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Cleveland Seed Service LLC, Heather Hunker, Travel Advisor with Magical Moments Vacations, Elaine Daugherty, Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Dr. Zachary West with Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine, Mercy Health Tiffin Hospital, April Hall Century 21 Bolte Real Estate, Synergy Ag, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Old Fort Basketball Alumni, Molliette's Farm Market and Garden Center, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., First National Bank of Sycamore, Buckeye IT Services, in memory of Ron Rao, Krogan Colonial Bank, Old Fort Country Market, U.S. Bank, Mallory Sykes, Realtor with Keller Williams Citywide, Landers Strength Syndicate, The Front Nine, Sugar Creek Farms, Scheidler Family, and Ream Produce Farm with custom farm boxes. All proud sponsors with us right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Once again, you're tuned in here on the postgame show brought to you by Mercy Health Tiffin Hospital. Let's talk player of the game, brought to you by Edward Jones, Elaine Daugherty's office. As Tommy, I think usually when our broadcast season comes to a close, we want to thank the players who got us here. And we wouldn't be here, obviously, without the sponsors, but we wouldn't be here if not for this talented group of Old Fort Stockaders, specifically these seniors, and that's why we give them our player of the game, brought to you by Edward Jones, Elaine Daugherty's office. Just what can you say about this senior squad?
I think that for a lot of these seniors who have went through the trials and tribulations in a tough conference and a tough district, they finally got to enjoy a little bit of the fruit of their labors, finally making it to the regional step that's eluded them for 3 out of the past 4 years. And for this year, for them to finally make it to this grand stage, it sets a precedent for years to come with this program. And that, hey, Old Fort, this is a place where you come to farm and play basketball. And the Stockaders, I don't think are going to be unfamiliar to this stage for the foreseeable future.
Once again, we'll give a shout out to all of the seniors here tonight, and they are our players of the game. As I think Connor's going to go down there and try to get a picture with him holding the belt up here. But I want to give a shout out to Connor Ernsberger, senior shooting guard for the Stockaders. Also Isaiah Perez. Also Carter Dubois, Blake Bender, and Carter Cleveland, all seniors here on this Old Fort Stockaders squad. And just outstanding careers here with Old Fort. And a big shout out to Coach Eric Hoover as well. His first district championship, punching his ticket over here to Bowling Green. Big time. Obviously, this is a big squad. It's a talented squad. It's put a lot of work in. But this coaching staff with Eric Hoover, he's put a lot of work in, Tommy. He coaches year-round, not just basketball, volleyball, baseball. I mean, the guy just nonstop. But for him to be able to break through, and this squad breaking through their first district title in 22 years, I really want to give a shout out to Eric Hoover and that coaching staff and the entire staff over there at Old Fort for just an outstanding season here. But once again, that's going to do it for us tonight. Greg, we want to talk keys to the game.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to. Kind of hectic start here. I just want to make sure we got them the shot out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yes, we do want to talk keys to the game because, Tommy, I think tonight, what do you think for Old Fort? I think the key for them, they needed to find a way to get the ball down low. And there was really the offensive sets really produced more open shots around the perimeter, and I think that's what Lima was trying to get Old Fort to kind of settle into. Some of those, they wanted them to take those open threes because they didn't want them to collapse the paint and get down low. And I think if Old Fort would have been a little bit more successful down low, I think that would have been a key for them to be able to come away with a victory here. But what do you think the key for the Thunderbirds here? What do you think that key was that got them the victory here tonight?
Well, they got out early and they wanted to stay out. And you saw a lot of shots from the perimeter, a lot of shots from the parking lot on attempted three-pointers once they got out to a sizable advantage. But, you know, this game and these championships are decided by runs. And I think for the Thunderbirds, the fact that they were able to come away with a lot better runs compared to Old Fort, whose only best scoring run was 5 points. And that was in the third quarter. I think Lima Central Catholic, you know, that best scoring run they had, 11 points. And that was really the difference throughout the majority of that 31-minute and 37-second lead by the T-Birds, was having that 12 to 13-point advantage throughout and really controlled the pace and tempo, forcing a difficult game by the Old Fort Stockaders to get back in.
That's a great key. I think that's definitely the key that really was the turning point for this Thunderbird squad and what really helped propel them to victory here tonight. So for the scoreboard tonight, brought to you by Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine, we didn't get a chance to really check in too much on that Seneca East game because it was already over with. They had the 6 o'clock game tonight against Richmond Heights, and they fell to the Spartans by a final of 87-37. Once again, when we take a look around the area at the scores, that's the scoreboard brought to you by Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine and Dr. Zachary West.
Yeah, and you talk about keeping your eye out in the area. You know, thanks to Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine, baseball, something to keep an eye out, as that's going to be coming at us real quick, as a deep run by the basketball squads around the area have allowed us to really milk this 2024 campaign all the way up to the point where, hey, baseball is right around the corner. And if you're still joining us and you were a sponsor here tonight and kept this program live and paywall free, please come talk to us. As Old Fort is also in our coverage area as they are a contender in baseball. We want to get you on board and keep you on board for the foreseeable future, as Heart of Ohio Sports gives you a lasting impression. Your sponsorship never goes away, as your sponsorship leaves a lasting impression, as these games going to be posted for you to enjoy with your family for the foreseeable future. And, you know, it goes right into our archives, and that's just one of the benefits you get with advertising here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Absolutely. And once again, we couldn't be more thankful for all of our sponsors for allowing us to be here tonight. I want to thank all of them once again, one more time before we wrap things up. Once again, your final score, Lima Central Catholic 65, Old Fort 44. Folks, if you're still with us, make sure when you hear these names, frequent these sponsors and tell them Heart of Ohio Sports sent you. We want to thank Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, Cleveland Seed Service LLC, Heather Hunker, Travel Advisor with Magical Moments Vacations, Elaine Daugherty, Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Dr. Zachary West with Ohio Institute of Osteopathic Medicine, Mercy Health Tiffin Hospital, April Hull, Century 21 Bolte Real Estate, Synergy Ag, Joe Steyer Family, Fiesel's Frame and Collision, Old Fort Basketball Alumni, Molliette's Farm Market and Garden Center, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., First National Bank of Sycamore, Buckeye IT Services, In Memory of Ron Rao, Krogan Colonial Bank, Old Fort Country Market, U.S. Bank, Mallory Sykes Realtor with Keller Williams Citywide, Landers Strength Syndicate, The Front Nine, Sugar Creek Farms, Scheidler Family, and Ream Produce Farm with custom farm boxes. Once again, thank you to all the sponsors. But guys, I got to thank all of you for being with us here on the broadcast team throughout this great season that we've been able to follow a lot of talented basketball teams. but we wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. Tommy, Greg, Austin, Connor, really, I want to thank you guys for an outstanding basketball season. Once again, you've done a great job, and we're looking forward to a great baseball season. Well, I couldn't do any of this without you guys. So I really do want you guys to understand how much it means to me, the effort, the work, the hard work, the dedication you guys put into this. It really does mean a lot to me. So I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for everything you do for this company. But once again, that's going to wrap things up as they're shutting the scoreboard off. We may as well shut this one off too. Your final score: Lima Central Catholic 65, Old Fort 44 for Connor Roush, Austin Rodriguez, Greg Kinn, and Tommy Hall. I'm Nate Mullins, signing off from the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Have a great night, everybody.